Okay, so picture this. You're deep in this, like, primal ancient forest.
Right.
You've been lost for 9 days. You were starving. You were terrified. And then you push through a thicket and find a stove.
Not in a kitchen.
No, just a massive cast iron stove sitting in the dirt.
Uh-uh.
And then a voice comes out of the firebox and starts negotiating a marriage contract.
It's one of the most jarring images in the entire Grimm Brothers canon, isn't it? It's domesticity completely out of place.
Exactly. Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we are cracking open the Brothers Grimm collection, specifically story number 127, The Iron Stove, or Der Eisenhofen.
Mm-hmm.
And look, if you think you know fairy tales, princes, frogs, glass coffins, this one is going to throw you for a loop.
It really is unique. It's a story that operates on this very specific kind of dream logic. We're going to look at how this narrative moves from a bizarre curse to a whole complex quest.
Yeah, with talking toads and glass mountains.
Exactly.
And our mission today is to really unpack the rules of this world. Because this story isn't just magic happens. It's about contracts, substitutions, and the very, very high price of breaking a verbal agreement.
Right. It's much more legalistic than people expect folklore to be.
Yeah, so let's get right into it. We have a prince, but unlike, say, the Frog Prince, who can hawk around, this guy is completely immobilized.
Yeah.
He's cursed by an old witch to sit inside an iron stove in the woods. And the text just says he's been there for many years.
Can we just pause on the image of the stove for a second?
Please.
In folklore, iron is usually a protective material. It wards off fairies, it wards off magic. But here, it's a prison. It's cold, hard, industrial. It almost suggests a total lack of humanity.
Until the princess arrives. She's lost, she's desperate, and she bumps into this appliance.
Ah, right.
And usually the hero initiates the quest. But here, the stove initiates the transaction. The voice asks, where you come from and where are you going?
And listen to how the prince identifies himself. He doesn't say, help me, I'm trapped. He says, I am a king's son and I am greater than you. He asserts status immediately. Then he offers the deal.
And it's some deal. I will save your life and get you home if you sign a promise to return, bring a knife, scrape a hole in me, and marry me.
It's pure coercion.
It is. She's terrified. She thinks, good God, what can I do with an iron stove? But she wants to see her father, so she signs.
And note the mechanism here. The stove provides a guide, the silent companion, who gets her home in 2 hours.
2 hours?
She was lost for 9 days. The return journey is 2 hours. That's the efficiency of the magic she just bought into.
But the bill comes due. She gets home. The king is overjoyed. But then she's just miserable. She explains the contract.
And this is where the story shifts into what you called the deceptive substitution phase.
Yeah, and the king's reaction is fascinating. He practically faints.
He's horrified, but look at his solution. He doesn't say, we must honor our word. He says, let's cheat.
Let's find a loophole.
Exactly. Let's swap out the princess for someone they deem, well, expendable.
It's a pretty dark class commentary, right? They find a miller's daughter who is beautiful, give her a knife, and send her to the woods. They just assume the stove, being a metal box, won't know the difference.
But the stove isn't testing for beauty. It's testing for identity. The miller's daughter scrapes at the iron for 24 hours. Nothing happens. Then dawn breaks. The prince says, it seems to me it is day outside.
And she replies, that seems so to me too. I think I hear my father's mill rattling.
And that's it. That's the tell.
The giveaway.
It's a shibboleth, you know? Her frame of reference reveals her origin. He knows instantly she's not the one. Sends her packing.
So the king doubles down.
Yeah.
He finds the swineherd's daughter, even more beautiful, the text notes.
And actually pays her for it.
Right, and he gives her a piece of gold. It's a transaction to cover up a transaction.
Same result. She scrapes, she fails. At dawn, she says, I hear my father's little horn blowing.
And the prince is furious. And here is where the stakes just escalate massively. He threatens to destroy the entire kingdom.
Literally leave no stone standing on another, all of this. Because they sent the wrong person.
It's high-stakes structural engineering, The princess realizes she can't outsource her fate anymore. She grabs the knife, says goodbye, and goes to the stove.
And look at the difference in the interaction with the iron. The substitutes scrape for 24 hours with no result.
And the real princess.
She scrapes for 2 hours and makes a hole.
So why? Is it, like, magic blood? Or is it just that she's the one who signed the contract?
I think it's the intent. It's the fulfillment of the specific promise made. And when she looks inside, expectation versus reality, she doesn't see a monster.
No, she sees a handsome youth dripping in gold and jewels.
The text says she liked him in her soul. That's a huge pivot. Suddenly, she isn't acting out of fear anymore. She's acting out of desire.
She frees him.
Yeah.
He steps out. You are mine and I am yours.
Yeah.
Happy ending, right? Roll credits.
You'd think so. But in Grimm logic, you can't just walk away from a curse that easily. She asks for a favor. She wants to say goodbye to her father.
And the prince invokes a taboo, a classic fairy tale move. He says yes, but, and there was always a but,
Always.
she must speak no more than 3 words to her father.
This is the Orpheus moment. It's a test of discipline. And why 3 words? It represents a clean break.
Okay.
He's asking her to prioritize her new life over her old one. Absolutely. If she engages in a full conversation, she's tethering herself back to her father's world.
And I mean, honestly, 3 words, it feels like it sets her up to fail. Hello, I'm back is 4 words.
It's so restrictive.
Goodbye, Dad is 2. It's just an incredible pressure cooker.
And of course she fails. She goes home and she talks. We don't know exactly what she said, but we know the result.
The stove vanishes.
And not just vanishes, it is moved over glass mountains and cutting swords.
This is the real inciting incident for the second half of the story. The princess shifts from being the prize to being the hero.
Yes.
She takes some money and walks back into the woods. She's now the one who was lost.
She searches for 9 days. It mirrors the beginning of the story. She's starving. She climbs a tree to escape wild beasts. And at midnight, she sees a light.
And this leads to probably the most surreal imagery in the whole story.
I think so.
She finds a little old house, but inside, there are no people. It's full of toads. Itchen.
Itchen is a very regional, almost affectionate German term for them. But these aren't your average swamp toads. They are living in luxury.
Silver plates, roast meats, wine. It's a complete inversion of expectations.
And they operate on this strict ritual. When she knocks, the fat toad gives an order to the small toad in rhyme.
The rhyme is so delightful. It's something like, maiden green and small, wrinkled leg, poor little thing, go see who is outside.
It's whimsical, but it shows there's a whole society here, a hierarchy.
And the princess enters, and she doesn't freak out. She just explains her mistake, the 3 words, and tells the toads she's looking for the iron stove.
And they decide to help her, they feed her, give her a bed of silk, and the next morning we get the classic donor sequence.
Right.
The fat toad gives her 3 gifts from a great box. 3 large needles, a plow wheel, and 3 nuts.
Okay, we have to stop on the plow wheel for a second.
Yeah.
That is not your typical magical gift for a princess, you know.
It is not. But look at the obstacles the toad lists. She has to cross a high glass mountain, 3 cutting swords, and a great water.
So she sets off. She gets to the glass mountain. I mean, have you ever tried to climb a smooth glass surface?
Not recently, no, but just imagine the physics of it. It's impossible. So she uses the needles. She sticks them in steps, pulls them out.
Wow.
It implies the slow, painful, methodical climb. It's pure endurance.
That is such a gritty image. She's literally pinning herself up the mountain. Then she hits the 3 cutting swords. I always imagine these are like giant blades swinging in the path.
That's how I see it too. And here she uses the plow wheel. She rolls it over the swords. The wheel takes the damage so she doesn't have to.
So it's using a tool of cultivation, a plow wheel, to overcome a weapon of war. She crosses the great water and finally finds the castle. But we have a classic problem. The prince has moved on. He thinks she's dead. He's about to marry a false bride.
So the princess has to infiltrate. She takes a job as a kitchen maid. And now we see the purpose of the 3 nuts. This is the 3-night structure.
Right. She cracks the first nut. And, dream logic again, a whole royal dress comes out of it. The false bride hears about this and has to have it.
She wants to buy it.
But the princess says, I don't want money. I want to sleep outside the prince's door.
It's a trade. But the false bride is cunning. She drugs the prince's wine. So when the princess is in the room crying and reciting her resume...
Her resume, I love that.
I saved you from the iron stove. I climbed the glass mountain. He's completely unconscious.
Oh, it's just tragic. She's shouting her love into the void. But there are witnesses. The servants hear her.
Right, and this repeats on night 2. Second nut, even better dress, prince is drugged again. But the servants report to the prince, hey, there's a kitchen maid crying about iron stoves all night.
So for night 3, the golden dress, the prince is ready. He pours the sleeping potion out when the false bride isn't looking.
And when she begins the lament, dearest treasure, I saved you. He leaps up. He recognizes her voice.
And the recognition is instant. You are the right one, you are mine, and I am yours.
It's a great moment.
I love how ruthless they are immediately after this. They steal the false bride's clothes so she can't get up and chase them, and they just bolt.
They retrace the whole journey. Needles for the mountain, wheel for the swords. They arrive back at the Toad cottage. But because the princess has completed the quest and honored her bond, the cottage transforms.
Into a grand castle.
A grand castle. And the toads?
They weren't just toads.
No. They were royal children all along, under their own curse. The fat toad and little toad turn into humans.
So it wasn't just the prince who needed saving. It was this whole other amphibian royal family.
It ties back so perfectly to the mistake. If the princess hadn't broken the 3-word rule, if she hadn't lost the prince, she never would have found the cottage. Those children would have remained toads forever.
That is a great takeaway.
Yeah.
Her failure was actually necessary for the greater good. The deviation from the plan was the plan.
Precisely. The story ends with them fetching the lonely old king and ruling over 2 kingdoms. It integrates the old world and the new, which is exactly what she tried to do with the 3 words at the start.
She just had to earn it first.
Right.
And then the text just hits us with, then came a mouse. The story was done.
A classic German sign-off. Da kam eine Maus, das Märchen war aus. It breaks the spell. It tells the listener, wake up, come on back to reality.
So if we distill this whole deep dive down, we have a story about agency. It starts with a girl who signs a contract out of fear and sends other people to do her dirty work. It ends with a woman who climbs mountains on needles to reclaim what she lost.
And she does it using these humble tools, needles, wheels, nuts. It emphasizes that you solve big magical problems with small domestic things and a lot of persistence.
And maybe, just maybe, don't sign marriage contracts with kitchen appliances.
That is generally solid life advice.
I want to leave you with one final thought to chew on. The prince demanded silence, the 3 words. But it was the princess's voice, her lamenting in the bedroom, her reciting her story, that ultimately saved them.
Well, that's good.
The rule was silence, but the salvation was speech.
That's the irony of it. You have to know when to follow the rules and when to speak up.
Thanks for listening to The Deep Dive. We'll see you next time.